Good morning, I'm Charles Lejano. This is One News Now. President Rodrigo Duterte lashed out at the critics of the government's COVID-19 response efforts during his public address last night. He also defended some of the administration's most criticized moves, including the Manila Bay Dolomite project, keeping Health Secretary Francisco Duque III in office. To give us a rundown of the other issues addressed by the president, we have Maricel Halili. She's reporting to us live from Mandaluyong City. Maricel, President Duterte opened his speech by congratulating DENR Secretary Roy Simatu. Can you tell us more about this?
Yes, you're right, Charles. Last night, during the taped public address of President Duterte, he actually acknowledged the efforts of DNR Secretary Roy Simatu in improving the Manila Bay. And he mentioned that it doesn't matter whatever the critics are saying, because whether the government is working to improve the country or not, critics will always say something negative.
Right, and aside from DENR Chief Simatu, we have Health Secretary Francisco Duque also receiving some praise from the president. Why is this?
Well, it has always been like that ever since Secretary Duque has been criticized by the opposition in handling the COVID-19 crisis. President Duterte has every now and then reiterated his trust and support to Health Secretary Francisco Duque. He said that he is satisfied with the report of Secretary Duque about the COVID-19 response. And he also acknowledged that Secretary Duque is doing his job as health secretary to the point that he is not eating, he doesn't have enough sleep. So once again, he said that whatever the critics are saying, it doesn't matter to him.
Right, talking about Secretary Duque, he did give us some updates on the country's COVID-19 situation. What were some of the more salient points?
Charles, Secretary Duque last night mentioned that as of September 21, we have additional 3,000 plus cases of COVID-19 in the country, but we have additional 20,000 recoveries listed by the health department. And he also noted that we have listed a 1.7% fatality rate. It's much lower compared to our previous rate at the start of the pandemic.
Right, Maricel, we have Secretary Eduardo Año, who also detailed the IATF's plan for this coming UNDAS. What particular dates will be covered by the temporary closure of cemeteries in Metro Manila, just to recap, and when are people actually advised to go visit their departed loved ones?
As released by the Interagency Task Force last week, Charles, Interior Secretary Eduardo Año reiterated that based on the resolution, all cemeteries all over the country will be closed from October 29 to November 4. Meaning that people cannot visit the cemetery in that span of time, but they can visit the cemetery, their loved ones, starting today until November 15, except those dates that was provided by the IATF resolution. And in addition to that, I also would like to take note of what Secretary Anyo mentioned last night about the crime rates. Secretary Anyo mentioned that from the start of the implementation of the quarantine, it is good to take note that the crime rate has lowered. He mentioned that about 47% decrease on the crime cases was recorded since the start of the quarantine implementation in March.
All right, let's shift away from that for a while. Let's talk about the president explaining why he lifted the deployment ban on healthcare workers. Does this now mean that any medical professional with a perfected contract can leave abroad for jobs?
There's actually an exemption, Charles. Only those medical professionals who have a protected contract until August 31 will be allowed to fly abroad and start working outside the country. Beyond that, they are still not allowed to go outside the country. Only those who have perfected contract until August 31, 2020. It means about 1,500 Filipinos or medical workers will be allowed to fly abroad.
All right, so there's a reckoning date as of August. Do we now have any updates regarding the repatriation efforts for Filipinos naman who want to come home?
Mhm. According to Defense Secretary Delfin Lorenzana, we have about 200,000 Filipinos who are already repatriated from abroad. These are the Filipino workers who are affected by the pandemic, but based on the records of the Labor Department, about 80,000 are still expected to come home anytime soon.
Right, and then of course, Maricel, the president had some choice words for Vice President Leni Robredo and his administration's critics. Could you tell us more about this?
Mhm. Charles, as expected, the comments of Vice President Leni Robredo does not sit well with President Rodrigo Duterte. During his public address last night, he mentioned that if he doesn't understand whatever Vice President Leni Robredo would like to see from the government because they're doing all their efforts to the point that they have established additional hospitals, even funeral parlors, to address the issue on pandemic. In a very sarcastic way, the president mentioned that maybe all he has to do is to spray pesticides using planes all over the country so that everybody will die. That's a very sarcastic remark. But his point is he doesn't want to listen to the critics coming from the opposition or the Diliwans anymore.
All right, thanks for that, Maricel. That was Maricel Halili reporting live from Mandaluyong. We'll be back with more stories after a quick break. Keep it here. Hiniga.
All he has to do is spray pesticides using planes all over the country so that everybody will die. He is very
You're still watching One News Now. I'm Charles Lejano. The PNP has deployed personnel in strategic areas near the Manila Bay Walk to strictly enforce the physical distancing rule at this new beachfront. To give us updates, we have Justine Ponsalang. She's reporting to us live from Manila. Justine, what is the situation there in Baywalk today?
Charles, unlike the arrival of people last Sunday here at the Manila Bay Sands, today there are actually just a handful of people and actually no lines of people who wanted to get their pictures taken overlooking the beach. Currently, the white sand area is closed to the public after DNR continues with its renourishment project of Manila Bay, but people continue to arrive in hopes of getting their pictures taken at the white beach. While the white sand area is off limits, the overpass near the white sand area is open for total off. Police are manning the ground and the overpass to make sure that physical distancing is followed even at the beach. Only 4 people are allowed
listen to the critics of the public or the ones.
Thanks for that, Marcel. Marcel Halili reporting live from Mandaluyong.
By and took a chance.
We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it.
That they are so serious and of hashtag Manila Bay challenge. But others admitted that case because they wanted to avoid the crowd that came here at the Manila Bay Sands during the weekend. Thursday, might be there are actually people or little few people who are coming here. There are policemen manning the foot of this footbridge and they have a megaphone reminding people that once they can pass through, they can only stay here for a few seconds, at least get a get a few good photos of themselves holding the beach. But other than that, they have to pass through this path. Meanwhile, Manila Police District Director Rolando Miranda warned the public that while they can visit and take photos near the Manila Bay Sands, health protocols must be strictly observed. Otherwise, the police may arrest them for violating the guidelines. Charles?
Thank you. Justine Punsalang reporting live from Baywalk in Manila. And it's World Car Free Day today. Tell us how local cyclists and biker groups are celebrating. We have JC Cosico reporting live from Manila. JC, are there any mass biking events lined up for today?
Charles, in celebration of the World Car Free Day today, several silent transport groups bike the streets and major thoroughfares of Metro Manila, not only to promote greener transport but also to call for protected bike lanes. Some members of the Move as One Coalition and Firefly Brigade started biking from Monumento past 6 a.m. In their Sabay-Sabay campaign, the groups are promoting biking in various cities and metropolitan areas. However, it is not going to be a mass ride for cyclists as mass gatherings are prohibited under community quarantine. They also wore face masks for additional protection against COVID-19. The groups will bike around 190 kilometers going through all metro cities. Other cyclists are likewise free to join. They say cycling helps ease traffic, adding the public should go for this instead now that public transportation remains limited under GCQ. The cyclists will also stop on several city halls in the metro as they call for protected bike lanes to avoid accidents. Private vehicles and motorcycles are also urged to stay on their assigned lanes. Charles, the MMDA earlier said that it will talk to several LGUs for the interconnectivity of the bike lanes. And now the bikers are expected to return to their starting point in Monumento at around 9 p.m. tonight. Back to you.
All right, motorists are urged to leave their cars at home and explore alternative transport options today. So, JC, are you seeing any improvements from the usual traffic today?
Charles, based on my observation earlier, the number of vehicles is still quite the same, but traffic is quite manageable earlier when we went or passed through EDSA past 7 a.m. earlier. Charles.
All right, thanks for that, JC. Again, that was JC Cosico reporting live from Manila. For more updates, visit News 5, Philippine Star and Business World online. You can also visit our website, onenews.ph, for in-depth analysis. And you can catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com. Stream One News live, anytime and anywhere. I'm Charles Lejano. We are One News.